How you doing? This is my mother, Barbara Hughes.
Hello.
And why am I doing this video? It's because I'm working toward doing that video on my collection of bases. And what I got notes here. What it got me started collecting bases was the first one I bought was one of the bases I had when I was young, and it, just started to become able to play, and then I just started buying up all those old bases that I had when I was a kid. And once I gathered all my favorite old bases, I started getting ones that I'd always wanted but could never, just could never get. And then I just started buying ones that I thought were cool. So, I've had this YouTube channel for a while, and it's been a very rewarding experience. And not to humble brag, but some of the cool things I've told you about, meeting Ellie Kim and her family, and old people writing nice stuff, and and being recognized in public, all that stuff is very nice. And rubbing elbows with a few of my bass heroes. Anyway, that's
Which made me very happy.
Thank you. Oh, and I hope to God this microphone's working. This is the microphone I used to record all my early videos. And got a contractor. Anyway, I started writing up an introduction to the video, but it was just, when I write something, it just
It
flows
wasn't
on.
from your heart.
No, it was, but it just went on and on. So I thought I'd do this video quick because your name came up a few times.
Do you ramble like I do?
Not quite as not quite as well as you do, but yeah, I tend to ramble. When I write, I ramble. When I talk, I try not to. So I thought I'd do this video. Anyway, the long story short was our family had a pretty rough life.
To say the least.
And our family is you, me, and my two sisters, Christine and Kelly.
Right.
Dad was out of the picture pretty early on, and you managed to raise the three of us single-handedly, entirely on your own, with very little, if any, outside support. And back then, child support, that stuff wasn't enforced or anything, so it's not like it is today. So the way I remember it, and I think I've told you, is that we never had the best of anything, but we always had your best. We always had the best that you could bring, give us. So, who could ask for anything more than that? So back in the 70s and 80s, you were able to keep us clean, healthy, and presentable.
And a roof over your head.
Excuse me. That's, though I did manage to save you a bundle on haircuts in high school.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
You kept us clothed and fed, and with a roof over our heads, and you did that all while managing to cater to our individual interests.
Right.
Mine happened to be animals and art and monsters when I was younger.
Right.
And then it,
a beautiful artist.
became music when I hit the 7th or 8th grade. And I have no idea how you managed to do that. And I remember you picked me up from school when they let me take the double bass home, and you had this you put it in the two-door Maverick, and it was sticking out of the window. You had to make sure you drove in the right lane, and you were worried about hitting people in the head with it. And I remember you buying me my first bass from Bolax Music.
Right.
And then after I stuck with it for a little while, my first amplifier from Samsondale Music, which was it was actually a record store that sold some instruments. But at that time, I didn't know what a music store really was. And I remember the guy really assured you, because you asked him if it was going to be good enough for me to, play with other people. The guy assured you it was.
Right.
But I don't know if I ever told you, it really wasn't. It was like it was like a 25-watt Kingston amp. It had a 10-inch speaker. But when I played it in the store, I hadn't really heard myself amplified before, so it sounded thunderous. And of course, you asked the questions because, I didn't like to talk when I was younger.
No.
Is that right?
No.
So there, it's true.
And the man lied to me.
Well, we made do with it. I don't know if I ever told you that, but
No, you didn't.
you know, we made do with it. You know, and it cost $110. I remember,
Oh, wow.
which was
Wow.
an enormous amount. You bought it. You found the time to take me to band practices, which you called jams, to my endless embarrassment. My mother was calling them jams before I was. To me, they were band practice. It was band practice. And you dropped me the 30 minutes to alto music in Muncie to just to let me look around.
Right.
And one time there was during a rainstorm, and there were these old kids walking along the side of the road, and remember that big puddle? And there was oncoming traffic. She couldn't avoid it, and she tidal waved these poor kids.
Oh, I felt so bad.
I felt bad. I think she was laughing.
Laughing, but couldn't help it.
What else? You let me lock myself in my room for
Yes.
hours on end, as I went from Kiss to Black Sabbath to Rush to progressive rock and jazz fusion. And sometimes you'll even pick out songs on the radio.
Exactly.
You'd say, oh, you used to play this. And that's what happens when you hear a song 200 times in a row. It gets stuck in your memory.
I still do that for them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
you still do.
still.
We even took them on to see Kansas a couple years ago.
Oh,
it wasn't that
beautiful.
long ago,
No.
but it seems like a lifetime.
4 or 5 years
4
ago.
years ago, I think.
Yeah.
But it's been a rough couple of years.
Right.
With COVID, it was just horrible.
Right.
And Mom's voice is raspy. As you know, I did a video. She was in the hospital, and she was on a ventilator for a day and a half.
Right. I was lucky.
But unfortunately, they did some damage, either putting the tube in or taking it
Probably
out.
fought like hell. Stay out of there.
Anyway, what I was getting around to saying is that playing the bass has been I've got to read now. It's a consistently stabilizing force throughout my life. It's the one thing that always makes me feel better, even during the times I'm struggling with it.
Right.
Once I sit down, once I pick it up and sit down, I
Right.
can just go away.
It was
and
therapy.
It was therapy.
It was therapy.
And it's given me a tremendous amount of focus and an incredible amount of satisfaction. And if not for your sacrifices and nurturing support, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be enjoying the quality of life that I am now. Because
Well,
it has added that much.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
I know. And, I've said, one of the reasons I never wanted to have children is because I knew I could never make the sacrifices that you made. I'm just too selfish.
That's okay. At least you knew it.
At least I know. Anyway, I see my playing as a gift beyond value and something I'll never be able to repay you for. So I just wanted to thank you for that, as well as you did a couple other things for me as I was going. But I wanted to thank you for that.
My repayment is seeing you happy,
Well,
healthy, and enjoying what you enjoy.
thank you. Thanks so much. I love you.
I love you.
Bye.
Mm.